Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ASL Challenger League Round of 16, Group C. Right here on Echo, in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning as a red Terran player representing Dust Gaming, it is the one, the only Spear! With a bear. Icy box. Nice little bear right there.
I see the Dust Gaming logo.
Oh, I see a bear.
I think you've got his old team. That's weird.
Okay,
But,
never mind.
Anyway, up in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent, the purple Protoss player. He is TheTRUTH.
Yeah, man, I was looking at that bear. I was like, I don't know why the bear is there, but, you know, I'll go with it. I'll go with it,
I think
you know?
that sounds like the ESC Icybox logo, and I think Spear did used to be on Icybox.
Yeah.
But of course, there's that slight V-neck glitch sometimes where it doesn't update their, actual little spinny logo. But either way, either way, getting into the game, the CC first coming out of Spear, stepping forwards, confident in his macro, and he's going to send a couple of SCVs down just to make sure this probe doesn't get too much damage done harassing, but I guess he wants to be a little bit more careful, a little bit more safe than sorry. And back across the TRUTH side of the map, fairly heavy on gas for him. Like usually you just see two in each and then the third one going in sometime around the cybercore finishing, depending on strategy, but this leans a bit more towards some kind of fairly fast tech going down about as the Stargate finishes. And the TRUTH does have that proxy pylon over on the left, so I'm thinking proxy Stargate.
Yeah, I was actually going to say that right as you were finishing right there. Definitely looks like something like Proxy Stargate. Has a lot of gas income. Yep, and starts up that Stargate. Now, one thing at least for Spear is that originally he was trying to box out that one probe so it would not get into his base because it did not have a second supply depot down to really deny any scouting. And so right now, I mean, for Spear, he's feeling pretty good about this. Like, okay, I got rid of the probe. Probe did not spot my 3 racks. As far as I know, yes, it did not spot the 3 racks. And so Spear's feeling pretty good. Well, on the other hand, he will be getting this Oracle in his main base, and it's going to be key whether Spear, chooses to go maybe double reactor. I've seen triple tech lab before, which is not very common, but it's really going to be key to see what combination of those, because that's going to depend how many Marines are going to be gotten out of these racks.
I feel like the TRUTH basically knows about the 3 racks anyway. Although he hasn't actually specifically scouted the racks, he did get inside Spear's base, and I'm pretty sure he scouted the gases. Oh, actually, no, that's important.
No, he didn't scout anything.
He didn't actually get to see the gases. So all he knows is the CC. There could be a load of tech following this up so far as the TRUTH is concerned, but seeing the number of Marines there, now he knows about the quantity of racks and actually is going to go for Phoenixes.
Yeah, that's a really interesting decision. I mean, the Spear... Sorry, not the Spear. What am I doing? Spear loves drops. Yes, but at least with this build, there's going to be almost 0 drops for another couple minutes now. And it's just a strange decision. I'm really curious to see how he's going to use this. He may get up a lot of Phoenixes and be able to really hit hard in some of these mineral lines, but still at the same time, you're doing a proxy Stargate because it's going to get there quicker. It's going to be much faster, but in this case, it's not really going to be much faster because he's going to have to wait for 2 to 3 Phoenixes to actually be able to kill stuff fast enough so the Marines don't get it.
Yeah, but I don't know. Spear doesn't really have much of an idea what's going on. He's just kind of scanned TRUTH natural base and doesn't really see that much there. An Oracle actually would have done a fair amount of damage. It would have killed off quite a few SCVs in natural, and in the main, I guess Spear would have just had to position his Marines there. But I quite like this commitment to Phoenixes. We have seen the TRUTH pull out Phoenix Colossus before now, though he hasn't actually thrown down that robotic spray yet. We'll see what this probe in his natural is. It's positioned to build something, but...
Yep. Oh, 3 Phoenixes going to the main right now, and they're actually caught by a lot of Marines. And one missile turret getting a decent amount of damage down, but yeah, for now it will be pushed back. I got 3 kills. That is good for 3 Phoenixes, but now he's actually alerted Spear. This is here, and his Marines are going to be ready. Or on the other hand, they're going to say, wait, you put so much gas into these Phoenixes. That's, I believe, if I'm getting some maths right, 450 gas, but you can't do anything with that. Actually, never mind. There's 4 now.
I think it's just 400. There's. Yeah, but it's pretty heavy gas commitment into these Phoenixes. So Spear's going to move out across the map. He does have missile turrets at home, but I feel like missile turrets aren't as good against Phoenixes as they are against Oracles, because, I mean, you can distribute the damage around the Phoenixes and get them all regenerating their shields up. But, yeah, I mean, there's very little at home here for the Truth. He's going to be relying basically only on Focus and Overcharge and this one sentry. And, yeah, the force field's good. It's going to cut off 3 Marines as well. Basically the perfect amount, so he takes hardly any even hull damage on that Stalker. I think, like 1 Marine shot got through. But Spear moves over to check the third base, sees no third base, and he can feel pretty confident in the fact that the Truth isn't going to be able to move out for a while. Oh, wow, that's unusual. I saw the Toilet Cancel going down a little while ago and thought, okay, so he's going to be opening up with, like, Phoenixes into Blink or something, because that's the usual sort of opening. But actually, the Templar Archives goes down immediately, and this is not something we see very often at all.
Yeah, the Truth does lose 1 Phoenix here. Almost does lose the second one, but he is getting pushed away. 3 Zealots getting a lot of damage done. Only 4 Marines left. They will be able to catch for really big, as we were mentioning. That's 200 gas right there. The Phoenixes are very important, at least in this early game, because that is what he's put his money into. Now the Truth, as you were mentioning, will be going into Templar Archives, but it's just a very gas-heavy build so far for the early game. And it's almost like Spear... I think Spear maybe could have broken through that if he would have capitalized more. I mean, going on that 3 racks, pushing with that a little bit more aggressively. But now he's kind of given the time for Storm to be started for the Truth, and it's a really interesting game so far. But on one hand, though, that the Truth, even though yes, he's put a lot of money into this economy right here. Just a lot of money into this game right here. He does have a very nice map presence.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Actually, the more I think about the choice to go Storm, the more I like it, because Spear did go for that 3 racks. The tech, obviously, vastly delayed because of his gas opening. And usually, although the Storm openings have been driven out of popularity by the increased occurrence of, like, mine openings, mine drops. Basically, Widow Mines are just incredible against High Templar. Flanking High Templar get taken out in whole bunches by Widow Mines. And all that sort of good stuff. You want the Colossi to be able to poke away at them from range. And yeah, so obviously Spear's really not going to have that much factory time to build up a good Widowmine count. He's only just now started producing his first 2. And so this is going to mean the Truth gets up the Storms. Oh, and a beautiful Storm it is, way before Spear is really ready for it.
Yeah, beautiful Storm did go down. Sadly, only 1 Stalker and a Sentry part of that army to shoot up, but that was very nice, and it pushed it off. Like you were saying, though, I mean, the High Templar Phoenix combination is pretty much like you're never going to get a heal down. I'm going to do so much damage to you, make you bleed, and my Phoenixes are then going to get rid of your Medivacs, even though the Phoenixes are not really in the right position to defend. Right now, they're just looking for drops, but I do actually see what you're saying. I really like that idea, but for now, the Stargate's actually going to get sniped here, and I mean, Spear's just kind of going along, taking his 3rd base, and will be going for a drop into that natural base of the Truth here, but Truth looks like it's going to be ready with that Phoenix. One nice thing about going early Phoenix is you do have you pretty much have 100% drop spotting capability.
Yeah, basically, and very good at deflecting them as well, but oh, another wonderful Storm lands. Spear just getting out in time. So we'll escape there, but the Medivacs are moving in towards the natural base now. The Truth hasn't reacted in time. He does have a couple of photon cannons here that in the natural base, and of course that next cannon though. So it shouldn't do too much damage. Lifting up that Widowmine just before it went down as well. So that's going to be good for him. And I mean, yeah, it's an okay drop. It's not great. It's not going to win the game or lose the game, but. Yeah, a little bit of skirmish going on over there at the same time. Spear takes out the pylon over on the right-hand side, and of course his 3rd base has been down for a little while now. But the Truth has actually been down for longer, I think. Upgrades equal, but the Truth with his 2-2 starting a little earlier, and of course the benefit of Chrono Boost, is going to be powering ahead on those. And Protoss with an upgrade advantage is a pretty scary thing.
You have Spears to be so careful. These Medivacs only have 10 health, and the Truth spots that. Does pick off both of them. Very nice Storm at the top of the army. Almost kills everything here. A couple Marauders left getting a lot of damage, but I mean, 2 Immortals can output so much damage. There's still the Widow Mines, but I think the Truth may have it right here. He's got a lot of units. He just did not want to let the Marine biocomposition really focus fire down, but moving into the beautiful Storm, the Medivacs will move into that. But I mean, right now it's looking fantastic for the Truth here. He's just got a couple nice angles with these Storms and just obliterated the armies.
Yeah, I mean, the Truth got a beautiful Storm to start that engagement. I think that was really most of what won it for him. Really clutch little Archon Morph there a second ago as well. Just before the Widowmine hit, took out 2 Templar. But yeah, I mean, Spear made the best of it, actually. He traded surprisingly well, all things considered. So Truth now going to build up a little bit more of the defense, and it's a bit unusual to see photon cannons being built as anything other than drop defense, but actually this is such a strong point in Echo, this kind of middle low ground between your third base and your natural, that I don't think it's even that bad to build the photon cannons. They'll provide a lot of tanking if the Terran wants to move in, and the Terran, it means if your army is caught up on the high ground, the Terran will find it a bit more difficult to kind of get a concave down that low ground and use the defense advantage against you. But now we see another drop coming in towards that natural base. As you said, Spear loves him some drops, but photon cannons are going to, mitigate some of the damage it can do, but it still does do a decent amount of damage, and some good Widowmine hits go off as well. Though, luckily for the Truth, he did pull off his probes from the middle line. And Spear gets out with 2 of his medevacs, 2 of the 3 medevacs and most of his units, and in the middle of the map, he is rounding up his big bioforce, pushing on. Truth sees it with the observer, the scan goes down, and it's going to see the army's not really in position, but you know what? Here's those photon cannons just delaying Spear for a little bit, giving the army the time it needs to actually get into that defensive position.
Yep, 1 photon cannon surviving with 2 health. Beautifully enough, only 5 workers actually died, and there's photon cannon in the natural that will eventually clean up these 2 Widowmines, but another drop actually going to the natural base, and Truth has to be very, very careful. I don't think he wants to pull these High Templars, because it could be a multi-pronged attack, and he knows this, and actually, interestingly enough, is going to decide to move out. That drop, by the way, did snipe the photon cannon, so it won't allow these Widowmines to be taken out. But right now, kind of a dance in the middle between Spear's forces, the forces of the Truth. Truth has to be very, very careful. He only has this 1 cannon left. Will go down. Does have a couple storms, though. Actually, only 1 now that I look at it. And, kind of doesn't really do that much here. There is the Zealots, but the Zealots do not have charge. So, I mean, this is a really kind of tough situation, actually, for the Truth to keep pushing through.
Yeah, during all that, the Widowmines natural kill off an additional few probes, additional 5 probes, I think, but they have now been cleaned up. Spear retreats back, and yeah, he scans. The Truth, though, he's got a few High Templar in the middle of that, actually. I didn't spot them underneath the most, of course. So, yeah, he's in a pretty decent situation. The Spear has been dropping again in the natural, actually. He's been all over the place, so he's never actually fought with the full army, and that's kind of how he wants to go. The full army fight is going to be so much more difficult for Spear to control, splitting against all the storms the Truth can bring to the table. But at the minute, he can just pull them out of position, out of position, out of position, and start trading off pretty cost efficiently. Good storm dodging by there on the first storm, but those last few on the left-hand side really do pick off quite a few of Spear's units. Spear is going to have to retreat back, wait for some more energy on these medevacs to heal back up. They give Truth a bit of an opportunity, and he's pushing that Archon forwards while it was morphing. It's now ready, it's powering up down locomotion, and Spear has to borrow these Widowmines so he can kind of have a chance of holding up this ramp.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried for the Truth's army. A lot of Zealots are in the back, and finally now Spear does have 2-2, which is the same that the Truth had for a lot of these battles, and I mean, that really turned it right there. Spear got a fantastic angle. Widowmines went off the front of the army. Zealots taking down, only 3 Archons left. Finally, there's a Colossi. A little bit of sustainable DPS for the Truth, but it's looking pretty scary, especially with 2 Vikings finally getting mixed into this mix right now. And as you were mentioning, just so many workers have been killed. If I can find it right here, 19 workers actually. Spear is just barely killed off in the natural. Each time he going in, just getting a couple more has put him in a very nice position. And now finally the big engagement happening. Vikings at the front of it will push that Colossi back in an attempt of the Archons. The Archons can't even make anything happen though. And just instantly dissolving to this huge Bioforce. GG.
Okay guys, here we are. Barney Research Station is going to be map 2 for, I guess, set 1 of Group C. In the top spawn, we have the player up 1-0, the previous season's champion, looking to push through today to the round of 8. It's going to be Dust Gaming's Red Terran Spear.
And his opponent in the bottom spawn position of Barney Research Station. It is the Purple Protoss player, hoping to fight into the round of 8. It is the one, the only, Truth. That Truth, man. Every time I read it, I just think you can't handle it. That's the only thing that comes to my head. There's, even though it's just so,
stereotypical, I guess.
So yeah, even though it's such like a stupid thing, it's the only thing that comes to my head. I'm just like, wow, man, you can't handle this guy. But he's actually gonna switch it up this game, not going double gas, simply going 1 gas. And I mean, he can put it on in a little while, but generally at 22 supply, you're already gonna be putting that down if you are gonna be going early double gas. So looks like more of a gate fast expanders. He's even got the probe queued up into the natural base, so pretty sure that's gonna go on. But the Truth did get a decent scout off, and the Reaper, I don't think it was Saw, and it's actually, ooh, probe will get away from that Reaper. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Duke's down over the left-hand side there. So I might even get all the way back home, but Final Reset Station is a pretty nice map for Reapers. There's lots of space for them to jump up, lots of angles to get into the main base, and the Truth has actually elected not to make any kind of real Reaper wall, so we could see that come back to bite him, especially given that the first unit is actually going to be a sentry. Little bit more vulnerable to Reapers. He's having to pull quite a lot of probes, and even taking a bit of damage on some of them. And yeah, so the Reaper gets driven away nonetheless, and next time it comes back there will be a mothership core awaiting it, so nothing too bad. The bigger issue on this map, I feel like, is how vulnerable most of your bases are to drops, particularly if it's natural. There's a big area for Terrans to unload in. There's a really great just path into the natural, and the medevacs, there's got lots of airspace behind them for kind of escape into and do all sorts of shenanigans. But yeah, mainly I feel like most of Spear's drops are going to be focused on basically where the Reaper is now. Unloading there, hopefully in the darkness, and then just pushing on down. Easy peasy.
Yeah, precisely. Beautiful sentry will push the Reaper. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Oh, Stalker's actually going to come out, and beautiful. Catches that Reaper right there. And looks like actually we'll be going Twilight Council for the Truth now. Did Spear spot this? Yes, Spear did spot that Twilight Council, and he's going to be pretty well prepared for that. Looks like on his side of the map, though, not necessarily doing 1-1-1, but doing your pretty standard, your racks into factory, into that starport, and I love it. Getting out some Hellions, especially with the third base on this map so open, you can run the Hellions in very quickly, and even sometimes actually get them into the main. And like you were just mentioning, it's just it's very scary as a drop map, so combined with any sort of drop, you can really pull your opponent in multiple directions with these Hellions.
Yes, we can, and the Spear's gonna be sending his Marines, lots of them out on the map actually. I guess they're looking for proxy oracles or anything, but of course they don't find any. I still think if you suspect proxy oracle, that's not what you do. Oh my god, yeah, the Hellions actually from Spear get into this main base, do get a bit of citizens arrested by these probes, and both get taken out. But final kill count, yeah, only 2 actually. Really, really nicely dealt with by the Truth. He pulled exactly the right number of probes that he needed to have them prepared to actually catch out those Hellions. But now Spear's moving in with 2 more. Does get up into the main again, but yeah, the Truth is more ready. Oh, even force fields them in. Very nice force field on that one. Trapping one Hellion, and the other Hellion, just one of them is really not going to be a threat to these probes. A Photon Cannon, even in the natural mineral line, it might kill like 1, but it just takes too long to fire into it. Way too long to get that many.
And I mean, Spear, for a second I thought he was going to go straight up with those Marines, saying Spear has scouted a lot, and he actually even saw the dark, saw the Dark Shrine, but I think he thought it may have been a pylon there in the left-hand side of that third base, or sorry, in the right-hand side of the third base, actually, technically, but for now, it's only 1 medevac with these Marines, and these Marines are feeling pretty confident getting up the ramp. Not a single force field has got down, and they will get up the ramp. Widowmine's going down, Guardian Shield doesn't go up too, but barely he's not going to lose that much, and the Mothership Core is nowhere in position to do a Photon Overcharge. Already's got it queued up when it's getting there, does run the Marines into the Photon Cannon, and the Photon Overcharge should save at least the army here, but probably, actually, beautifully, Cannon is just barely in range of those Widow Mines, but still the DT Shrine could be sniped off with Spear if he wanted to.
Yeah, he could go for it, but I mean,
he saw it.
Yeah, the DT is actually just, it can't even get into this base. This is kind of why I don't really favor this on Binary Reset Station, although, you know, typically Terrans don't wall off, but I guess this is one of Spear's responses to seeing DTs. He just goes, well, no, just go away, I don't want you in my base. And the DT's like, no! I had an invitation! And so he goes, it was forged! I didn't send it! Go away! And yeah, the DT just has to go home, sad, go back to Shakuras and cry about it. But luckily he's got another DT buddy for him to complain about the inhospitability of Spear's base. But
dang, going really into depth into DT emotion here, but I'm liking from Spear not going for that third base. Definitely hard to hold when there's a lot of DTs. You can sneak one in, you gotta scan, waste a lot of scans, but I also like from Spear, even though he normally does this, but adding on going up to 5 racks, just because, I mean, the majority of the tech is in DTs, and there's only a Robo now actually being finished to get an Observer out. So these Marines in this just heavy Bioforce is going to go largely undetested because of just the expensive cost of these DTs. Yes, you can get some Archons, but still, like I was saying, those are pretty expensive Archons.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're a little cheap on the gas cost, but usually, like, they're just so much more minerals, like way over twice the cost of minerals. And Spear managed to get a... Oh, wow, actually goes off on the Sentry. And yeah, that's gonna... I mean, the Marines just take everything else out. DT Cloak there, though. And,
their Lord and Savior DT, pretty much every situation.
Yeah, basically. Spear comes in, though, as the Temple Archives comes down. He's going to see this. He's going to be able to snipe the pylon. And yeah, I mean, this is going to be a little annoying. Actually, it doesn't matter that much because the Temple Archives will keep on building. He'll build another pylon, and then we'll just have to wait for the other pylon to complete before he can start Storm. But it'll be finished by the time the Temple Archives finish. And he doesn't even get the pylon in the end. But Spear's moving across the map with another push. The Truth has proxy pylons just all over the place.
Beautiful.
And servers. His map vision is pretty intense right now.
Yeah, and a lot of DTs out of the map, get a little bit of damage done, but much less the damage done, more just the assured of, okay, I know exactly where your army is because my unit is attacking it. Now this is really going to be key here. This is the time for the Truth to kick in. Templar Archives is done, but I mean, Storm nowhere in sight. One Zealot, one Sentry, one Stalker, and a DT is about all he has. Photon Overcharge, maybe not going down yet, will not actually go down, not quite enough for the Photon Overcharge, only one away. Now has enough, but it will be sniped beautifully. Spear pushing forward quite aggressively. DT was taken out by a nice scan. There still is the Stalker. High Templar in a very scary situation here. I mean, sorry, Templar Archives. But I mean, Immortal coming out right there. The Truth missed his chance. He had a Photon Overcharge and didn't cast it.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. Now, with that Templar Archives being sniped, he's going to have no splash damage for ages. Absolutely ages. And yeah, the just Spear can keep on pushing forward. The DT does manage to save itself until scan's gone away, but Spear will have some more scan energy in a few moments. He's actually 47 right now on one of his orbitals, so he's going to scan, he's going to kill off these two DTs, maybe even two observers as well. Why not? Good measure. And marches up into main base. GG!
Thanks for watching the video. Please subscribe to support the ASL by hitting the button now.